In 2008, three complete strangers were put together with the hopes of creating the greatest Sony podcast ever heard. Today, unable to stop podcasting, the show survives as connoisseurs of dick and fart jokes. If you need Sony news, are not deaf, and don't want to die of boredom, maybe you can listen to BigRedBarel Blu.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 14 of the BigRedBarel.com PlayStation podcast. Joining you from 54-degree Eugene, Oregon, I'm Rothbart. And not to confuse you, Pac-Man, that's 54 degrees Fahrenheit, because we don't care about metric system and crap like that.
Yes, I know America and what is it, Belize that still use the old way?
This is the land of arbitrary metrics. We just make shit up. And, you know,
it's the American way.
If it happens to take 212 degrees to boil water, 12 inches to make a foot, 5,280 feet to make a mile, they're all numbers. They're all good.
You, that's why.
6 inches to measure my penis.
Yes. It's always a fraction, Frawlz. Always a fraction.
He always measures it in centimeters.
Yep.
Well, I want to kind of get it down to the nitty-gritty. I want to know exactly how big it is and what I'm working with.
So, the reason I mentioned the temperature is because it's freaking almost June. What the hell is with 54 degrees in the middle of the day?
No, maybe the fact that you live in Oregon.
But normally, this time of year, it's warmer than this. It's crazy. It's a weather delay. I don't know. It's like
I think you're just more hyperactively aware of the weather because you're getting old. And old people just seem much more concerned about the weather than anyone else.
What time is it? It's cold. That's what I'm going to do all the time. Just repeat those two questions.
That's not exactly a time.
So,
just saying, not even close to a time.
Frawlz, how's the weather down there? Where are you at?
It's always beautiful, man. I've moved here for the weather, bro. You know that.
And where are you living now? In a van down by the river?
San Diego. You wish. I'm living in Santiago. Where's vagina? That's where I am. It's always 70 degrees here. It's beautiful. Never rains. You should just come down here, man.
It did rain today, too.
Oh, well, geez. I mean, that just sucks where you are. Like, why? Seriously, though, why would you live in a place where one of the things you have to think about is the weather, when there's places out there that are just not like that?
Probably because the rent here would cover a night out at the bars there.
Touche.
I don't know. It's just a guess.
Okay.
Yeah. But
anyways,
and we have lots of moss. You know, never have too much moss.
I guess so.
Moss on the trees, moss on the rocks, moss on the ground.
Moss on your chicks. What's up, baby?
No. Anyway, Pac-Man, do you have moss in Canada? Like lots of different kinds of moss?
We have Canadian moss.
Of course you do.
Which is basically the same as American moss, just colder.
With free healthcare.
Yeah.
So how's it going, Pac-Man?
It's going good. My I'm not, without going into it, my health has been kind of poor of late, but been feeling much better this week. And the main bonus to that, besides living in another day, is Starhawk. Finally got to play my Starhawk. Finally went through, played through the campaign, got online, killed lots of people. Basically just existing in the Starhawk as soon as I can afford to get to Starhawk and take up into the sky. But unlike in Warhawk, I've actually gotten very good at strafing infantry with the Starhawk versus what it was like in Warhawk. It was actually kind of hard to just gun down individual guys who are on the ground because you're going so quickly. But I've gotten pretty good at it, and it really, really pisses people off who are on the ground. They're like, God damn it!
Now, Pac-Man, you're referring to it as the Starhawk. Is that just the vehicle you're referring to, or has the game itself garnered its own whenever you reference it?
Both. But yeah, mostly I'm just in the actual Starhawk vehicle.
Gotcha.
And I had a really, 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 really fun time. I mean, the minute I picked it up, I basically played through the single player in, I guess, 2 sessions. And then I spent about 2 days playing the multiplayer, and my only complaint with Starhawk really, the single player is whatever. It told a story, and it showed me how to do everything, but it wasn't really a big deal. But I really love everything about the multiplayer, except for the fact that I'm still having trouble connecting to games. When I'm in a game, I got no complaints. I love it. When you play with a good team, it's just like awesome in every possible way. But you see that failed to connect screen, or at least I do see failed to connect quite often, and it's kind of irritating when 1 out of every 3 times you try to connect, it said failed to connect. But other than that, I think Starhawk deserved more love than it got.
It's like trying to sleep with a fat chick, right?
Well, I was just saying, as he was saying that, I was giggling to myself. If you rewind the podcast now, listen to that again, and every time Pac-Man mentions Starhawk, if you replace it with sex, it's hilarious.
It is. It's exactly the same.
He tried out the single player for a while and figured it out, but he really enjoyed the multiplayer, except for when he couldn't connect. And, it's just awesome.
It's like 2 out of 3 times I just couldn't connect.
God.
They're too big. Need a running start.
I forgot to mention, I don't really have it in the agenda. Well, I guess it is mentioned later on, but you mentioned playing Starhawk. I picked up a new game this week, too. I got Doctor Who, The Eternity Clock.
Ooh, and is it garbage, or is it actually worth playing?
I would say that it falls closer to actually worth playing, because it is not garbage, but it's not amazingly awesome perfect.
So are we talking like the latter half of the Back to the Future type game quality, or above that?
Let me explain something about you asking me about the latter half of the Back to the Future games. I looked at the first one and I was like, oh, hell no. So there was no latter half for me.
Well, I mean, I was meaning more that the second half of of the Back to the Future series was much better critically reviewed than the beginning.
Well, if I talk about that game, I'd be speaking out of ignorance. I don't know how it works. I know that I was concerned that the Doctor Who game looked a little like a point-and-click adventure, and I can assure you it's a straightforward platformer with puzzle elements thrown in. So
it's a first-person shooter.
But it is episodic, right?
I don't know that it's episodic. What I do know is that the actual game itself emulates a Doctor Who episode. Now, the game itself, I think, it's complete. I don't think there's going to be sequels to it necessarily. But they got, and I'll just cover what I had in the agenda later, but they got all the sound assets. All the sound effects are right. The Cybermen are in there. The Daleks are in there. Matt Smith does the voice of the Doctor. He looks like Matt Smith. Alex Kingston, I think's her name, does River Song, and it looks like her. They've got
I'd still do her too.
Yeah, they've got the composer from the show doing the music. They had 5,000 lines of dialogue recorded. So, Frawlz, I don't know if you ever actually watched the TV show. If you did and you liked it, you would like the voice acting for the game because it's the same.
Whoa! You've never watched Doctor Who?
No, when I was younger, it scared the shit out of me. So I just never really was like amped to do it again,
Well, yeah, when you're a little kid and you see garbage cans telling you that they're going to exterminate you, it probably would freak you out.
Well, no, it's not that at the beginning. Like, woo, the whole crap that goes on in the beginning. Yeah, it just gave me nightmares. I don't know why.
And I love all that psychedelic craziness.
I just didn't like it, man.
I bought it figuring it was fan service, and I was happy with what I saw. I do like platformers. The platforming is fairly basic. There are a couple weird things, like you can crawl through each other on a ladder. There's no collision detection between the two characters.
You'd love that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Anyway,
hey, it looks like.
and the puzzles are decent. Of
course, you would try
enough.
and climb through somebody on a ladder, like.
Well, I mean, you're climbing up a ladder and somebody else is sitting there. You figure you're going to go right below them and then stop and wait for them to go. But no, you climb right through them, or vice versa.
Yeah, only you would want to go right below them.
The puzzles, it allows you, I don't know what the difference is, but it allows you to choose 3 different skill levels on the puzzle. I don't know if that means it gives you hints if you choose an easier skill level, or if the puzzles literally are harder. But, I mean, they're not any super crazy mind-bender puzzles, but some of them aren't intuitive. But I think I probably would have felt better if the game was $10. It's $20. And so far, I don't feel let down, but I don't know how long the game is because I'm not done with it. But I am enjoying it. It's not garbage.
See, that's how reviews should go. Is it good? Yes. Is it garbage? No.
That's pretty much it. I'm enjoying it. And if you are a big fan of the game or the show, you'll probably like it as well. So there you go.
I wish it was a different doctor, but it does sound cool.
Yeah, we've been going through the. I do like Matt Smith, but we've been going through the Netflix episodes. They've got quite a few on there, and we've been going through the David Tennant ones, and completely different. I mean, every doctor is different, but I'm really enjoying those as well. Who's your favorite doctor?
Well, Tennant of the new ones, and what's his name? The guy with the beige coat from the old series was my other favorite. I can't remember his name, the actor's name.
The guy with the giant poofy hair and the long scarf?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one I ever watched when I was a kid.
Because that was the one. Yeah, that was the one that was always on when I was a kid and traveling around.
That was the one that scared the shit out of me. Just saying. Like, I still get freaked out just thinking about it. I don't know why. It's weird.
Hey, Frawlz, did you pick up a game this week?
I did. Last week I said I was going to pick up Max Payne, but believe it or not, I started...
But believe it or not, I lied to you all.
Believe it or not, I didn't say what I was going to do. I mean, I said something and I didn't do it. That's surprise.
Shock.
Wow, shocker. No, I actually, hey, believe it or not, hey, listen to this. So I started dating a girl who
we
likes
totally
video
did not
games.
expect that to happen.
Who likes video games?
I know, right? A real woman.
Wait, is that like a brand name?
What?
Is that like Real Woman with a trademark?
Yes. No, not the kind you buy online
The
and wait
real
6 to 8
doll.
weeks to have them custom built. This is actually a real girl that I started seeing, and she likes video games, dude.
And not only does she have female genitalia, but she likes video games.
She likes video games. She's cute. She likes video games, and she wants to play Max Payne with me, which is kind of just new for me. I'm not used to this. I'm used to just getting a game and having my own free time.
It's new for me too, because now I'm jealous of Frawlz. I don't know what the is coming.
I don't know either. It's like now I feel like I can play video games and I'm not wasting anybody's time or energy. It's just kind of cool. It's a cool feeling.
Is she a dominatrix?
What?
I said, is she a dominatrix? Maybe she's wanting to play Max Payne with you, and that's not a video game reference.
I don't know. I don't know her that well. I mean, I could wake up one day and my balls are tied to the floor. I don't know.
You're hanging from the ceiling.
No idea. That could happen. That could
awesome.
definitely happen. But hey, well, maybe I'll have my balls tied to the floor playing Max Payne. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't know what Max Payne is, and maybe that's the idea of pain. I don't know.
I would like to play that. Anyway, so you bought something else, though, didn't you?
So yeah, no, I totally bought. Yeah, I bought. I almost said SOCOM. It might as well be SOCOM. I bought Ghost Recon. So, yeah, I already finished the first chapter. See, I told you I was going to do it. I did before the podcast. Did the first chapter, and...
I like how you say, see, I told you I was going to do it, and I did it, after you just got done telling us that you didn't do what you said you were going to do.
Yeah, our listeners probably don't know this, but I have a reputation on our website to say that I'm going to do something and just never do it over and over and over again. So I decided to get Ghost Recon, and I told Roth that I would do the first chapter, and I did. And I gotta say, it's exactly like it's a cross between. It feels like SOCOM with the cover system and all that stuff. But the polygons is just, oh my god, the graphics in this thing are atrocious. Whatever engine they used was like 6 or 7 years ago. It is terrible.
Now, did you play the beta?
Huh?
Did you play the beta when it was out?
No, I didn't play the beta when it was out, but I was kind of psyched for this game because I saw it 3 years ago at E3, so I was kind of excited about it. So
I was just looking at one of our old agendas. I'm not sure which episode it was from, whether it was the last one or the one before. See if I still have it here. Yeah. It says from episode 13 last week, Rothbart, Ghost Recon Future, so not my game. That's what we call a warning.
Yeah. Well, anywho, I got to say they took a page out of Call of Duty big time. It's kind of just exactly the same thing. Like the first mission, I'm not spoiling anything. The first mission is you find a bomb Like, okay. Like, you find a bomb, you're like, well, all right, well, is anybody seeing this? Because we weren't expecting there to be a bomb here. And then you're like, oh, crap, the bomb explodes. Everybody dies, and the introduction. And next thing you know, you have to go get a VIP somewhere, and you got to make sure that you can extract him. It's just like any other shooter, just with cooler weapons, I guess you could say. And your graphics. So I mean, I appreciate Ubisoft, making the game and all, but it should have left it in the oven for a lot longer.
So, well, I am glad that you got a game that Roth and I didn't pick up, if only to save us from having to pick it up ourselves.
Yeah, but the reason why it's not like you guys didn't have a chance to. It's because you guys knew it was a game. That's why you didn't pick it up.
Well, I don't know what more I could do than tell you last week.
I'm just the idiot. There's $65 that I didn't need.
Like Ubisoft made this game, but they must have spent, I don't know.
They spent years on this thing, man.
$50,000, $60,000 on this mini movie that they put out to hype the game, and the mini movie is actually pretty friggin' cool. Like, I'd actually watch that if it was a show.
Wasn't it like 20 or 25 minutes or something?
Yeah, I mean, it's super long. You can look that up online, and it's very well done. It doesn't look like
is it free?
Half-baked YouTube video. So it's kind of unfortunate.
And I gotta say that the game is 3D compatible, right? So This is the part that confuses me. It's like, why would you want to see graphics in 3D? It's bad when it's 2. No. I don't get it. I mean, well, good props to them to including that, but it's also move compatible. So if you guys really want to play
3D move,
I don't know.
All right.
But so you got a crappy game, but you've got a gaming girlfriend, which I'm sure like 80% of our, or maybe 50% of our listeners are jealous of. Because I have lots of female friends who play games, but I have yet to lock down a long-term relationship with a girl who actually plays the video games that I play. Let alone wants to play Max Payne with me. That's just not fair, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out. You get a girlfriend and she wants to play Max Payne 3, and then you go out and buy Ghost Recon.
Well, here's the thing. If I bought it, I was going to want to play it. So I was just going to wait for it. I was kind of playing that role. I don't know.
Oh, see, and not only that, you're now earning brownie points toward. I hate you.
What? Whatever gets me laid.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
No, you're not.
Anyways, all right. So let's get to an agenda, man.
We all
know about my love life.
Yes.
This agenda looks a lot better than it actually is. It's massive, but it's mostly smokescreen.
It can't be measured in millimeters. It's huge.
Your girlfriend can probably relate to this first topic. It's about Shadow of the Colossus.
Oh my god.
No, she's in your shadow. I'm calling you the Colossus, not her. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I got that. That does not need explaining.
Anyway,
it's reverse for Pac-Man, by the way.
They're making a movie of this. This rumor's been going around, and it's come around again. But apparently, Sony Motion Pictures are doing this, and they got the director of Chronicle, Josh Trank, actually requested to direct this movie. Now, Pac-Man and I had some off-air discussions over whether Chronicle was any good. I enjoyed it. He didn't enjoy it. Either way, I mean, the movie, it wasn't incompetently directed. So, I mean, he could potentially direct a good movie. But what gets me excited is somebody modern that, has some publicity wants to do this, and then they say, oh, yeah, we're still interviewing potential writers. There's no script. It's like there was hardly a script to the game, and now they're going to make a movie without a script. This is still 10 steps from actually happening.
Just on a similar note, if you guys want a good chuckle, watch the trailer for the new Dragon Age animated movie, because it's total. I mean, they could have just put Felicia Day spinning in a circle, and it still would have been better.
How is she popular?
Am I the only one that doesn't find Felicia Day attractive at all?
I don't find her ugly, but I don't find her anything special, and I don't mean that in a bad way. She obviously knows the right people,
her 15 minutes is up as far as nerd culture goes, and she should just be, the extra character on a random TV show and just leave it at that.
Her and Will Wheaton need to just go hide in a corner for a few years.
I still like Will. Though.
I like cool. Will Wheaton too. I find him.
I don't like Will Wheaton.
But the Dragon Age animated movie, I'm not even sure if Felicia Day's in it, but it looks crappy. It looks like they gave the guys who up Dragon Age 2 something to do. They're like, hey, you guys want to f*** up an animated movie? Go do that. They're like, awesome.
Nice.
Sweet.
Say what you will, Sorcery is within 8 points on Metacritic of Starhawk. It got not horrible reviews, which a lot of people were expecting. Some people,
what's not horrible?
It's sitting at a cumulative 70 on Metacritic after 20 reviews, whereas Starhawk is at 77 after 50 reviews. So it's within 7 points. I know the guys over at PlayStation Nation rated it an A on a scale of A to B. No, I don't know what they rated it an A, though. But
when it comes to reviews, I only go to the official PlayStation Magazine and the official PlayStation Magazine UK for all my reviews.
Well, then in that case, this game is a 100.
Like it must be so ridiculous to be a reviewer or someone who gets paid to work at one of those, the official magazine, because it's like, okay, you like this, okay?
I'm a big fan of being easily entertained. I don't know why you would ever want to be hard to entertain.
Dance monkey.
I like being easily entertained. Anyway, despite the fact that you may or may not like the game, there are some positive attributes to its release. It marks the first PSN title that you could pre-order and pre-download and have on your system ready to go when it was released. So that
you're like, please buy this
more.
Somehow.
Well, I mean, Steam does that, but this is the first one on PSN that's done that.
You know what they should have done is they should have done that for Starhawk. What the
Exactly, and I'm going to be pissed in 2 weeks when they announce, we're releasing it on PSN. Screw all you guys that wanted it a month ago. So, I don't know. I'm a big fan of digital downloads, and I'm an even bigger fan of, really? I can download 6 gigs in advance instead of starting at the same time as everybody else? Let's do that. So, all right. Here's an old game. I'm preparing. It's colorful. The graphics look retro, but retro's right in the name. I'm preparing to be mocked by Frawlz. Retro City Rampage is coming out for the PS3 and the PlayStation Vita. And it's like an homage to 8-bit beat-em-ups, the old overhead GTA games. I guess there's stealth gameplay. It's got a coin-op feel to it. There's shooting, side-scrolling, even rhythm gameplay influences.
Wow.
I don't know if it's got multiplayer or not, but it does have the... They need to come up with better names for these things. It's got continuous play, which basically means you can play it on one platform, save it, and pick it up on the other, PS3 or PSV.
Okay, but why would you think I would make fun of you because of this?
Because it's
awesome.
Because you haven't seen the screenshots, apparently. Because you would mock me for being excited for a game that looks so old.
No, I mock you because you get excited for games like Banjo-Kazooie.
No, I don't. I didn't like Banjo-Kazooie.
And, and crap like that, kid games. Like, this seems like it'd be kind of interesting.
Oh, okay.
You're like, look, a fun, Ratchet and Clank game. I can't wait for that to come out, and so I can
kiss my ass.
Things around the world.
Ratchet and Clank kicks ass. So,
well, you got to admit though, Rothbart, that Retro City is definitely targeting, I'd say, people over 25.
I think it is targeting the age group that would get the retro in a nostalgic way.
Yeah,
yes.
Like Rothbart, who's like 55.
Well, no, I remember playing games like that in the arcade when there were still arcades and stuff. Like, I thought it looked really great. Like Retro City Rampage? Yeah.
Now, see, I think it's an original game. You keep saying you played it when you were a kid. I don't think...
Well, no, but I mean, it reminds me of those games, like all those, the top-down little coin-operated stuff. I mean, they all had that sort of... Just like the old GTA, top-down sort of stuff did. There was a lot of games like that were super, super fun, and now everyone's getting away from the top-down view. Unless you're talking Kickstarters, in which case everyone's about the top-down view again.
I used to like the Micro Machines games back in the day, and also the GTA 1 and 2. until you played it, and then you realized you can't possibly drive quickly with this strict overhead view. You run into stuff. I hated that. But anyway, I will be buying this game. The price has not been announced. And the one claim that the developer, I forget his name, but he kept making when they interviewed him on the video that was posted on the PlayStation blog, he said it was pretty easy to get up and running on the PlayStation 3. I think his original project started on the PC. But then he kept saying, like 3 or 4 times in the video, it was 4 times easier to get working on the PlayStation Vita. Like, he measured that and calculated that out. I don't know.
Yeah, he was pretty emphatic. Like, I'm pretty sure the minute that they wrote cut, someone gave him a lot of money.
It was 4 times easier. You other guys, you need to.
Can I just say something about I want to say something about the Vita real quick. Listen, like, my roommate has a Vita, right, and had to download a firmware update today. It was about 98 megabytes, and it only took literally like 3 minutes to do. Like, here, like on a PlayStation 3, 97 megabytes. I'm gonna go get lunch on a PlayStation 3. Like, I don't know
what it is about you and your PlayStation 3 updates, but like, I never have a problem.
I don't understand either. But installing 97 megabytes is retarded on a PS3, but on a Vita, it just seems to go smooth.
Your PS3's hooked up to dial-up, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's just the disk drive doesn't probably write as fast as the Vita because the Vita's flash.
He's got it attached to a cup on his screen.
Stealing the neighbor's internet.
Yeah, it's a letter. They have to wait for them to send me USB. It takes like 4 days.
Anyway,
damn it!
But you're saying the Vita updates fast.
Retro City Rampage on the Vita makes use of the touch controls front and back. But if you're a purist, you can play the whole entire game with buttons. You don't have to use that stuff, which I thought was nice, considering it's retro. Let's see what else we got on the agenda. So there's a guy in Japan that works for Sony, and his name is Hiroshi Kawano. And apparently he's their game chief. I don't know if that's an actual title. And he goes around, I'm game chief, talking Indian.
That does sound pretty badass, actually.
Japanese. That was horrible. Anyway, he was being interviewed by Famitsu, arguably the most popular gaming magazine in Japan, about how the Vita has started off really slow. And he says, the real battle begins now. And what he's talking to, he's talking to the same thing that you've been mentioning, Pac-Man, and that they need to bring out Japan-centric games, and they need to bring them out now. So he says the upcoming release of the latest Gundam game, a remake of Persona 4, and the Metal Gear Solid HD collection should see an upswing in Japanese sales with those games. But he also hopes a new white Vita, I don't know why that would matter, and another one, this is the one that cracked me up. It's featuring the popular virtual singer Hatsune Miku, who I'm guessing if you're Japanese and you like virtual singers, you would know who that is. I have no clue. Those go on sale in August, and they expect to see an uptick in sales with those as well. Now, I want to ask you guys, have you ever not bought a gaming device because they have yet to offer your color?
No.
No. I was actually pissed when I bought both a Wii and a 360 and they were not black.
If the first issue of the hardware was like, neon pink and orange or something
Rainbow?
Really ugly, then maybe I would delay just because it's that ugly if it was a portable device, but even then I'd probably still get it.
So the games totally make sense. I think that those could make a real difference. I don't see why they're expecting people, unless they're Japanese people like you, Pac-Man, that buy multiple units and they're hoping that they're going to buy another one when a white one comes out and another one when the singer comes out.
It just, really, it's all about that Monster Hunter and
that's not even on the list.
Well, yeah, but even if they had even a small little extra pack for running Gran Turismo for the PSP on your PSV, if they just had a little extra PSV pack, that would sell. People will buy that game. Just do the cheapest little knockoff upgrade of Gran Turismo and re-release it on the PlayStation Vita, and I guarantee you people will buy that shit. Like, people think that the latest Gran Turismo didn't do so well, but it did. It sold millions. Gran Turismo Prologue sold like crazy. Gran Turismo for the PSP is one of the best-selling titles on the system. I mean, they can make some money. They should just keep releasing Gran Turismo and Monster Hunter games for the entire lifespan of the PlayStation Vita and nothing else, and they'd make their money.
Overkill Software, creators of Payday the Heist, are collaborating with Valve on a blend of Payday and Left 4 Dead. I'll just leave that there for you guys to think about for a minute.
I'm sure somewhere we can find someone who is like, yay? I guess.
So that's not the mix of chocolate and peanut butter that everybody was hoping for in the gaming world?
No.
Maybe.
You don't want to rob a bank full of zombies?
Are we running out of ideas?
I don't know. Zombies have to be everywhere.
I have this idea, guys, but just listen to the whole thing before you judge me.
Maybe it's a blood bank. I don't know. Then,
ooh, good one. That would be
vampires.
That'd be our brain bank.
They should make the peanut butter experiment a movie.
Does that have to do with a dog licking you?
No, yeah. If anyone's listening to this and actually remembers what the peanut butter experiment was, and it's just ridiculous.
I'm noticing a trend in this agenda. I wrote it, but I'm still noticing it. Sly Cooper 4 is not only coming to the PlayStation 3,
but maybe the Vita?
But maybe the Vita with continuous play, cross-platform saving.
Oh my god.
Somebody inside Sony said, God damn it, every game needs to support this. We need to make people think that if they want this game, they want to buy it twice on 2 different platforms. And I'm scared how much it's going to cost. Because it was $80 if you wanted to get MLB 12 The Show for the PS3 and the PlayStation Vita, like in the commercials where the guy's playing the game and he pauses it, picks up his Vita and walks out the door. Dude spent at least $80 on those games. And that's if he found a place that sold the bundle. Otherwise, he bought it full price, $100. I don't want to buy $100 worth of Sly Cooper 4.
Why not?
I like Sly Cooper 4, but I like it at most $60 worth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Don't screw us, Sony. I would love, you might be able to sweet talk me if you give me like a cupcake and tell me it's going to be $70 if I buy them together.
You know what? I was just thinking, do you think this has anything to do with the fact that there is no way to have video out of your PlayStation Vita?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? Because just as an example, I don't have my PlayStation Vita yet, but I'd be playing Patapon all the time, and if I could, I would just say it was just available on the Vita, for example. If I could, when I got home, I would prefer to play it on the big screen, on my PlayStation 3, but I can't. I can't export it on video. I have to get the version on the PlayStation 3 in order to switch my saves back and forth. But by making sure that you can't put video out, you have to take advantage of the cross-platform double purchase idea rather than just being able to put it on your big screen without needing your PS3 purchase.
I don't know. I do know that if they were to do like some of these smaller titles do and just toss in the PSV version for the full price, if I didn't have a PlayStation Vita, that would sure as hell make me want to buy one. And I would be more tempted to buy games that supported both platforms for the same price. But if you're expecting me to pay for 2 versions of the same game, and they say that they're identical, that game had better be amazing, review well, have lots of content, and warrant that purchase, or else it's going to be a big flop for no other reason than price. I mean, I'm sure Sly is probably going to be a decent enough game. You're asking a lot if you want more.
I'd rather just have video out.
Yep.
And then it'd still be on the big screen, and it'd still be the same game, and I'd still have the same controls.
So,
Nick, suck my nuts.
Frawlz, this seems like a topic that you would have something to say about.
What's that?
The whole, let's release the game on the Vita and the PS3. I mean, Sony carefully worded, we're going to have 20 gaming experiences at E3. Now it suddenly seems like it's going to be 10 games on the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita.
I'm with you.
I don't think it's fair to count them as like...
Well, they said gaming experiences. Those are 2 different experiences. You could sit next to a smelly guy on a bus, or you could sit next to a smelly guy on your dorm room couch.
Still smelly.
Frat house couch, whatever. Wherever smelly guys hang out on couches, that's not creepy to be.
I don't know. Well, it's whatever you do in Oregon. I don't know why. What do they put on? Peyote or something?
Moss.
Moss. Canadian moss.
They roll around the moss. Listen, if that's the case, if people are just going to feel cheated, but I mean, listen, the PS3 in my eyes is getting to the end of its life cycle, so I have a feeling it's going to be more. I think it's going to be more focused on some other, like the big titles, and then they're just going to say, "Oh, here's some smaller titles that are cross-platformed with the PSV." That's it. I think that's what they're going to do, and I think they're going to show off some new hardware, not hardware, but some new firmware for the PS4. But that's just me. I don't know why I'm going into that, but
Rothbart's right. I mean, it really just comes down to, it would be cool for cross-platform play and all this stuff for Sony to announce if they actually look like there are going to be really good games, you know? Because you're interested in the for getting the game twice or being hyped for the cross-platform play as a feature is really dependent on the fact that the game itself has to be cool. And most of the ones that are getting the treatment are sort of middle road games.
Well, yeah, the first game they announced it, I am spacing the name. I think it was called Ruin or something, and then they renamed it. Was that dungeon crawler where they showed people on the Vita, and then they paused it, and they picked it up on the PS3. That game hasn't even come out yet. And other games have picked up that idea and run with it already.
You know, like there's you know, stuff like the new God of War, or you know, a new Metal Gear or something on the Vita that you could play on the go, and then when you got home you could carry it over and play on your PlayStation 3. That would be interesting. But some of these games, I don't know. It sounds like you know, they're just bloating up their own announcement numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to add a little credibility to something I called previously on this show. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, they've confirmed some new voice actors have apparently contributed to the game, which means they're probably playable characters. I called that Kevin Butler is going to be the final boss, and...
Are you serious?
He is actually confirmed as one of the voice actors, as well as the voices that did Cole McGrath, Nathan Drake, and Solid Snake. So...
Cool.
If those are true, they're getting a good collection of PlayStation characters for their game. And if the game delivers, I guess the best collection of characters is the best you could hope for.
If you guys want to have some fun, I have no idea. I don't have the link up right now, but I'm pretty sure you can find it. There used to be a really great Kevin Butler soundboard, and it had just a ton of stuff. And then it had one of those text text machines, so you could type in a sentence, and it would pick individually clipped words that he'd said and try to sound like Kevin Butler saying a sentence. It's pretty funny. I mean, if you find Kevin Butler funny, if you don't, it's kind of not cool.
I can't find it. I just tried to Google it. Anyway, Frawlz, we have a special section on the show called The Roomahs.
Yeah. What do you want me to do with it?
Do what you do.
I feel like I should say something profound. I don't know. The last couple episodes was just kind of like, the last episode we were like, Frawlz sounds like he knew what he was talking about.
That's weird.
The rumor section. What the hell? I don't know why everybody keeps saying that I'm doing such a good job now, because I actually talk about video games. But now it's the rumor section with Rothbart, PacMan, and Frawlz. Yeah. I'm sweating. This is just...
That actually sounded... Even his rumor intros sound more professional.
He's going to hyperventilate.
I'm like confused. I don't know. Whatever. This is something new. This is all new to me.
The latest rumors, even though Microsoft and Sony are saying we're not showing new hardware at E3, the latest rumor says the new Xbox is slated to be released November 2013, which makes it not unfeasible for there to be some mention or tease at this year's E3. Because if they went all the way till next year's E3, which is in June, that's the 6th month, and they're going to release the system 5 months later, no. They're going to build hype much longer than that. So if they do skip this E3, and it is coming out next November, they're going to make some announcement in between, probably after the holiday season, after Christmas, but before the first half of the year. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that we're going to see a reveal of the Xbox whatever at E3?
No.
I think we're going to see nothing from Microsoft. No.
Okay. So I would probably agree with that. Now, let's go to the second half. Do you think that they're going to release it November of next year?
No, not at all.
Pac-Man?
No.
Oh,
No.
neither of you. I would kind of like them to, but I see them milking the hell out of what they've got now. Although, last time around, they dropped that Xbox fast. So
I do got to say they are losing points with the not having Blu-ray, though.
yeah, well, I mean, I think the consensus is whatever they come out with is going to have Blu-ray, but not for data purposes, just for movies. Not that movies on disc are important, because streaming is the future, according to them. Anyway, E3 is coming. Jeff Keighley, hype machine, is in full effect. He said, today we filmed a huge top-secret game reveal for our E3 coverage. Can't wait to share it with you. No one will see this one coming. Now, we talked before we recorded. I put my money down on Naughty Bear 2.
Barbie Horse Adventure.
Nobody will see that one coming.
The new Star Fox. Actually, that would be pretty badass.
Every time there's a big show coming up, he does this. But, Pac-Man, what do you think it could be? Just pick something you think it could be.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a three-way team-up between Peter Molyneux, Cliff Blazinski, and what's his name from Twisted Metal?
David Jaffe.
Yeah, David Jaffe. And it's going to be really, really, really hyped, and they're going to promise a lot, and it's just going to be a black screen. And it'll cost $75.
Have you ever seen the movie, I think it was 4 Rooms, where it was broken up into 4 acts and a different director directed each act? So the story kind of went along, but it changed in tone and direction each section. They need to come out with a game with like 20 levels and invite the who's who of game developers to write each level individually. That would be
It'd be like
awesome.
one of those movies you see on like Valentine's Day with like 50,000 actors. You
like a Lifetime video game.
I think it would be cool.
No, it could be really
it could be cool like the Animatrix. Like that was badass Animatrix, but it could be like bad like Valentine's Day, where they have like 50,000 top-notch actors just making cameos for $10 to go see a movie.
I could have swore the movie was called 4 Rooms. I'm going to see if I can Google it real quick here.
That does sound familiar. But you're right. It would really depend on who they got involved.
Yes, that was the movie.
4 Rooms.
4 interlocking tales take place in a fading hotel on New Year's Eve.
Isn't that how you lost your virginity?
Shh. All right. The next here, this is unrelated. I don't think... Frawlz, do you have any idea what that Jeff Keighley announcement would be?
It's not PlayStation exclusive, right? So I would say...
We don't know that.
All right, I'm going to say Dead Space 3.
But I would see that coming.
I
Therefore,
don't know.
you're
Not too
wrong.
many people saw that coming this early. I mean, what are they going to... Maybe they'll announce another Batman game. Arkham State.
Has your girlfriend ever said that
What'd
to
you
you? I didn't see you coming this early.
Oh, you know what? It could be the big reveal for an Avengers video game.
That could not be good at all. There's no way in hell that can be good.
Like I don't think it'll be good, but I think that they could actually want people to think that it's good.
A sequel to Game of Thrones.
Well, it's crazy. We already have 2 Game of Thrones games, and they already.
Oh,
suck.
you know what? Wait, they are making a Superman game. Aren't they going to redo Superman?
Okay, Superman games always suck.
I know, but you wouldn't see that coming.
Yep.
A good one.
This game needs more robots.
PSM 3, the magazine from the UK, went to press teasing a game reveal. Now, this is a PlayStation exclusive magazine. They call it a, quote, big surprise, stating only that it's not the PlayStation 4. That does. I'm going to... Siphon Filter 4. Or Siphon Filter, whatever.
It's going to be Mag 2. No, Zipper's gone.
I don't know. Bubble Bobble Extreme.
There you go.
It's gonna be Bomberman. Your console just got real.
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. Okay, we've had a series of LinkedIn resume links. This is one of them. Robert Krekel, sound designer at SCEA, says, according to his resume, he has worked on the sound design for the PlayStation Vita version of PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, which I can only assume is cross-platform compatible with cloud saving, whatever they want to call that. Continuous. I got nothing. That's probably true. I mean, it sounds so true. But
yeah, it sounds true.
the next one is another LinkedIn resume leak, this time from Brian Dunn, Associate Brand Manager at SCEA, at least at the time of this writing. And he listed Gran Turismo 6 on his LinkedIn profile.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
Gran Turismo.
That's not shocking. What will be shocking is if it comes out in the 2000 teens.
Yeah, but before my head goes completely gray.
Yeah. So, surprisingly, the mention of Gran Turismo 6 is now gone from his profile.
As
his
Are his kneecaps.
his employment status.
First rule Gran Turismo is no one talks about Gran Turismo.
I think that one's true. That's the end of the rumors.
We're done with the rumors.
Should we do the shout-outs? I'll start. I want to give a shout-out to Red, I guess it's Sierran, from the Twitters. Canary Wart. You should
That's
get that
gross.
looked at from Twitter. And Ruth Rumhammer, who really, really, really wants to kill you in Resistance 3, Frawlz. You need to play Resistance 3.
He is not aware that I don't have the game.
Well, I bet your roommate does, because he's a real gamer.
Oh,
Anyways.
I bet your girlfriend does. Does she have a PlayStation 3?
No, she doesn't, but she's buying one. She's going to buy one before she even met me.
damn, man, everything about this chick is awesome.
She's pretty cool.
Is she going to be on the show?
Do you want her to be on the show?
I don't know.
Hell yes.
Does she have an Adam's apple?
Yeah, she has an Adam's apple, but not as big as most people's.
No, girls don't have those.
It's an innie.
Anyway.
Wrong with
Do you have some
She has
shout-outs?
hairy knuckles. No, she doesn't. Eka Pox.
He's correcting himself.
You have a very strong grip.
You're so nervous.
Eka Pox from the Twitters. Watulakula, right? Watulakula? Damn. Hawaiians.
You got it pretty close the first time.
What, like, you know? What is it?
Man, I'm not going to say it. This is your jumble to go through.
You don't know. What, Rothbart, what is it?
What is what?
Watula Akalula. Eula. What? Something like that?
Yeah, all right. From the Twitters and Jedi_Junkie BRB from the Twitters.
Our resident Gran
He's
Turismo
actually from
guru.
Taiwan.
And speaking of which, I'm going to post, check the website to see a rundown of what the last big Gamer Night event that he put together was like. He took the time and just wrote a really good write-up of how everything went, and there's a new and improved Gran Turismo series coming. Just
It
saying.
was on your LinkedIn resume.
Yeah, it leaked. But I would like to give a shout out to the PS3 Mutt from the Twitters, Moonshiner1820, and Hex Knee, again from the Twitters. And it's been a while, but this weekend, for sure, I'm playing StarCraft. I'm hopefully not going to the hospital or going to be sick or working or anything else. So this Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, until I can't play anymore, we're going to be playing Starhawk. All the details will be up on the interactive calendar on BRB's front page. So Starhawk like crazy. I'm probably going to be doing it again on Sunday, but I'm not sure. But we'll probably be doing that the next couple Saturdays because we spent a lot of time talking up this game, and I really want to play this game with people. You know, I want to hunt some people down in the Starhawks because Starhawk doesn't give a
And while I'm not doing a gamer night, I will be online looking for people to play co-op with me. So if anybody wants to do a single player co-op, I'll be more than happy to jump in, and I got your back, man, on Ghost Recon.
And I can't wait to play Max Payne 3 with your girlfriend.
And he's not talking video games.
Wow, I regret bringing this whole thing up. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, if you have an iPhone, iPad, iPod, Android, whatever, anything except for Windows Phone Mobile,
And you live in the right country, which apparently is just America.
yeah, there's that. You can download the BigRedBarel.com podcast app. If you have an Android in the U.S., I'm sorry, you have to go to the Amazon Android Marketplace. I don't know why. I've got nothing to do with it. It should eventually end up in the Go Play Store. I don't know why it's not there. $2.99, you can get our podcast app, which gets you all of the feeds for the podcast at BigRedBarel.com, but it also gets you access to the bonus content. We usually record about 15 minutes extra every week. I think all the shows are doing it now. So it's a little bit, a way to get a little bit extra and to help us keep the site afloat.
And hopefully someday we will love the rest of the world. But it's not. We don't have that power.
And if it makes you feel any better, I bought the app myself.
It does make me feel a little better.
Looking at the time, we're probably going to be dead, never record the show again, but we have to end this episode, and then we're going to record a couple good topics, so go get the app and check it out. We'll see you next week. See ya!
Stay frosty, everybody.
Frawlz in your mouth, I guess.
You and your ears are quite welcome for the podcasting goodness that you just heard. Why not roll on over to BigRedBarel.com for more podcast, news, reviews, and videos from the biggest, reddest site on the internet, BigRedBarel.com.